Welcome to another edition of Every Man is a Millionaire. Today we're going to talk about Colin Kaepernick and Nike playing the long game. There's been a lot of conversation, there's been a lot of discussion about what's going on, and some ever-loving white people who are racist are losing their mind. One of the things is you can't discuss this without discussing the racism. You can't discuss this without discussing the bias, because I have, but there seems to be this thing that's happening, and I'm going to encapsulate it like this. There's a black man with more power and money than you. That's a problem. Now, this isn't, with the white supremacy. We don't believe in white supremacy here, but we do believe in racism. And if white supremacy was the thing that it was supposed to be, then Colin Kaepernick could not be making all this money and have all this exposure and power. Yeah, I said that. All right, if you don't ever want to miss one of these live streams, go below and get on the live stream notification list. So with that, let's go. Let's get into it. I've talked about this several times on this channel. I've talked about how these major brands and institutions are playing the long game. And there are many people who are not really feeling that. They're not, they don't understand. So let me cue up my screen. Alrighty. That won't work because, no. Hold on a second. I got to do some kind of fancy here. But this is what's happening. Nike understands what the future is happening. This move that they're making is not for now. If you understand, Nike gets 53% of his income outside of America, and probably another 30% from people who are not interested in football. See, there's a lot of people, the interest in football, and the NFL has been experiencing this, a drop off in fans year after year. So this is one of the reasons for the pink campaign. It would make more sense if the NFL had a prostate cancer campaign, but they have pink campaign because they want to impact these mothers so they'll let their little boys play this violent sport. That's what that's about. Because if you think about it, just think about it. National Football League. Coaches are men. Assistant coaches are men. Players are men. Owners are men. It would make more sense to be having a cancer awareness program for prostate cancer. But they have a pink program for breast cancer for women. Not to say it's bad, but if you think that they're doing this out the goodness of their little heart, you really haven't been paying attention to this channel. One of the things that creates a lot of this amazing controversy. All right, I will be back in a minute. I'm just trying to get myself set up here. Is that so many people don't study history? Because right now, they're going off on Facebook. Excuse me, to my white dudes who are burning your socks and you're cutting Nike and stuff off your shorts. Nike already has your money. They already got your money. You're hurting yourself. You would be better to flip it on eBay and sell it. Just a thought. I guess that's that high intellect kicking in. All right. We're going to have fun here today. We're going to have fun. Because this is just killing me because once again, Nike is not doing this out of the goodness of their heart. It is about the money. It's about the future. It's about legacy. And it's about money in the future. How many of you know the story of Muhammad Ali? I was actually a little kid when a lot of that stuff was going on. And there were many people who did not like Muhammad Ali. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. There ain't no man as pretty as me. They had a problem with that, right? They had a big problem with that. Muhammad Ali, when he didn't go into the draft, was hated. Now I want you to think about the time frame. This is the late 50s and the 60s. They were throwing stuff at Muhammad Ali. They were using the N-word copiously. The hate that Kaepernick is getting ain't nothing compared to what Muhammad Ali went through. Not to marginalize what Kaepernick's going through, but if you compare and contrast, it's way different. Very, very different. So now you have this situation of he's hated. People think that Nike's going to go out of business. Nike's probably going to lose maybe 3 to 4, maybe 5% of his business. And some of those people who are stopped buying Nikes are going to actually forget about it. And a year or two later, oh, look, those are some fresh Nikes, and they're going to scoop them up. This ain't going to hurt Nike at all, because for the folks who leave, they're going to be replaced. For every person that leaves Nike, they're going to be replaced by 3 to 5 people who want to support Colin Kaepernick. I mean, it's funny. And part of this feeds into what I talk about, getting your economics together. What is Colin Kaepernick? Everyone sees him as a rich, as a black quarterback, right? Who's stirring stuff up. Colin Kaepernick is a multi-millionaire. He took the hit. Now, I said, and I think I said on this channel, I didn't feel that that was the way to go about it. I understood what he was doing, but I felt that it needed to be a more economic solution, right? But Colin Kaepernick is a multi-millionaire. He ain't some poor person. He's a multi-millionaire that is going to get richer. Think about that. I'm just saying, I'm just here. You know, you can not like the messenger and stuff, but the reality is Nike's not going to lose. Nike's going to win because what are we? We're Americans. We have short attention spans. And just like this is brewing up, wait until Donald or some other thing happens, and this will be quickly forgotten about, and people going back to their old habits, because habits die hard. There'll be some ardent racists like, I ain't buying it. I'm not going to enrich him. I'm not going to enrich Nike. No. Those people will still be stupid. They really will. Because this is what's happening. Society has fundamental social, economic, structural change. You have rich black people. You have rich Asian people. You have rich Hispanics. No longer is the majority of wealth in the hands of mostly white people. And someone put in a comment. If you define white supremacy, and the Hoteps don't define white supremacy about the billionaires. Collectively, they define white supremacy as white people having an inherent advantage in every speck of life. So nice try. Nice try, because the thing is that you miss in trying to convince me to think like you is, I have a broader perspective. I don't just study money. I study society. I study economics. I study writing. I study theater. And from all these sources, I come up with a different picture than you, who are focused on this one aspect of society. And most of the billionaires in the future will be Asian. They'll be Asian. But nobody's talking about that because we stuck on this so-called white supremacy. Now, there are many people who feel that this move is social engineering by Nike. No, it's not. Nike, Chase Bank, State Farm, Cheerios, or General Mills, or Nabisco, whatever, whoever bought who, I don't even know. They have a group of people on floors. This ain't one people. They have a team of people called actuaries and social scientists. They employ these people because Cheerios is already making a bunch of money now. Cheerios, Chase, State Farm, Nike, they're prepping for the next 10, 20, 30 years. They ain't just prepping for next quarter. So let's say Nike loses 10% of his sales. Okay. They got enough money in the bank, enough physical foot space, and I'm going to tell you something else about Nike. You're going to love this in a minute. So they'll take a little dip, probably buy back some of their stock, And once this is over and the stock goes back up, they just going to keep going on and on. Nike is too big to fail. Unlike some of these banks that they were putting out that were too big to fail, Nike is too big to fail. Nike has footprints in stores around the world. And that's the key. Now, if you didn't know this, I saw this on Vlad when he was talking to Carl Kanai. You should check out those interviews. That's a lot of game right there. The online Nike store will take your shoes back if you have them for a month. Wear them for a month, you don't like them, they'll pay for the shipping back. Nike's trying to cut out a lot of the retailers and wholesalers so you can go direct. So Nike has several different businesses under the brand Nike. It has golf, Tiger Woods. It's tennis, Serena Williams. Now, what do you see with this? You have a lot of black athletes. Air Jordan. And Michael Jordan was the first black athlete to represent a major brand. It looks like a winning combination. It looks like a slam dunk. But at that point, that was very risky. That's why Mike has the demeanor he does. He was very risky. He wasn't a rebel rouser because he was the first. And he paved the way for Steph. He paved the way for LeBron. He paved the way for Kobe. He paved the way for every black athlete who's making major money now. But a lot of people want to hate on Michael Jordan because they don't know history. They stuck up in their feelings like Kiki because they don't study history. They don't study K9s and they don't study stock reports. But Michael Jordan was the first one. The first one. So Kobe, KD, Kevin Durant, all these dudes, and most of them do. Most of them, like Mike, paved the way. Most of them know the history. Most of them know the deal. But many of these racists, and I keep saying racist because you can explain it several different ways. Like, I'm gonna talk about this. Let's say Jamal, Pookie Nim, Ray Ray, and Big Man were in the car. Jamal has some weed. Cop pulls over Big Man because Big Man's speeding, but Big Man ain't smoking weed. Ray Ray ain't smoking weed. Now, if you present the scenario to a white person, they're like, yeah, more than likely they're all guilty. But when you present the case of Trump, Flynn convicted, Manafort convicted, no, they ain't Trump, ain't got nothing to do with it. I make this point to tell you that it's pointless to talk to these people because they know what's going on. They're not stupid. They know what's going on. They are living in fear because the conversation of what's happening to farmers in South Africa. You know what that conversation is really about? We know what our grandfathers and forefathers did a long time ago was wrong, but it was so long ago, we're just going to chalk it up to history, right? Well, now history's kind of, I'm coming for you. Now they're scared. They shook because they think that those who were disadvantaged are going to do the same thing to them because they know that stuff's wrong. That's what a lot of this conversation is about. It's about fear. It's about losing what you thought that you had earned, but you never earned it, so you didn't lose nothing. But Chase, State Farm, all of these big brands are prepping. The work they're doing right now is they got one department keeping sales current. They have another department that looks into the future, trying to figure out what you want to wear, trying to figure out new trends, trying to figure out wearables. Wearables is going to be a big thing. People are going to walk around with Nike gear implanted up in their skin. That's coming. So to capture all that, and Nike and State Farm and Chase Bank and General Mills, Cheerio, they all know the world is becoming more brown. When do you develop your affinity for a brand? Let's go back to 1970s, Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is always advertised in the black neighborhood using black people. McDonald's, same thing. At one point, McDonald's had a program where if you were just a smart person, you went and applied, they would train you, they would loan you the money to start a McDonald's franchise. But white people felt that was unfair. So they sued and McDonald's shut the program down. It was funny. This is true. Once again, I don't believe in white supremacy, but I do believe in class. I do believe in rich people are treated much differently than poor people. So what this is really about is a lot of people, brown people, are getting rich and getting richer and richer and richer due to their own merit, due to their own abilities, and folks who've had somewhat of an advantage don't exist no more. And they shook. I tell you this because when I made my predictions, let's talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin went up, Bitcoin keeps slipping. Bitcoin went up. Now, once again, the next 2 months are going to be pivotal for Bitcoin. Kids are back in school. There should be excess money in the economy for people to buy Bitcoin. If Bitcoin's price doesn't really start scaling like 9,000, 10,000, 11,000, 12,000, more likely it's going to crash. Because only 1% of the world is 1% of the world is invested in Bitcoin. 1%. That's it. And out of that 1%, like 200 people own 90% of it. Can you say manipulation? But the whole deal is you got to look at what Nike's really doing. They know what's going on. They've got all the data and they're acting appropriately because with the Cheerios commercial, you saw that, you saw the backlash, right? What did Cheerios do? They made another commercial. This time she's pregnant with another biracial baby. They made another commercial. You know why these brands are not scared? Because they know that where their money's going to come from in the future is going to be these people. This is what they're doing. This is why they're doing this. And Nike is just, and Nike to me has a special place because they stuck with Tiger Woods. Remember when Ellen went across his head with a golf club? He should have had her arrested for domestic abuse, but you know, neither here or there, that he just missed that opportunity. But they stuck with him. They stuck with Kobe during the rape allegations. They stuck with him. I don't really think you understand how loyal Nike is. Because one of the things that I've seen, it's got to be Phil Knight, that when this stuff happens, they don't bail on these athletes. Name one Nike athlete, big dude, that they bailed on. They don't do that. You know why? Go back to those actuaries, this floor of actuaries. Actuaries are people who calculate risk and data and future trends. The data is more than likely the next Michael Jordan's going to be black. He ain't going to be white. He ain't going to be Asian. He ain't going to be Chinese. He's going to be black. So we need to be doing things to be favorable to brown people because the dominant society, the dominant culture is slipping. I want you to think about this. Cheerios. People are like, I'm never going to buy Cheerios again. Cheerios like, cue up that other commercial, all right? I want you to really think about the social changes that are happening. If this had happened in the 70s, Cheerios would have buckled. They would, because they wouldn't have enough scale in society. Because see, this is something else too. All these kids who are rocking these Jordan jerseys and these Air Jordans, all these older dudes rocking this Tiger Woods gear. And I guarantee you, there's going to be a lot of people rocking the Colin Kaepernick gear. And more likely they're going to get in some fights because this small segment, and this is what I believe. I believe most white people are not racist. I honestly believe that. And I believe, a lot of black folks aren't racist. And I believe a lot of Asian people are not racist. And a lot of Hispanic people are not racist. And I believe there are more people of us who are not racist than the racists there are. And they're starting to feel pressure. They're starting to feel outnumbered. And this is why they acting up like a teenage girl that had to move. They acting up. And, as a society, we'll weather this. We'll adjust. We'll be better. But right now, it's going to be a little chaotic. But once again, this is why this is happening. Because I've seen a lot of people with some takes. And there was this guy on ESPN. I don't remember his name. It was him, Chris Carter, and I think L. And he said what I thought. It's like, this is a legacy move for Nike. This ain't for now, which shows you how short-sighted most people are. Because they're like, well, this is now. It's got to be now. Now, 10, 15, 20, 30 years from now. Because you develop your affinity from a brand when you're young. This is when they're trying to capture people. You know, you ever wonder why when you were in college, all these credit card companies sent you credit cards and you didn't have a job? They wanted to establish a relationship and get your brand loyalty early. You know, there's a lot of people walking around with their very first credit card because when no one else gave them credit, this company, this bank gave them credit, and they rock with them. You know how many billions of dollars that is? Because one of the things is getting new customers is very expensive. So if you can get a customer and keep them 10, 20, 30, 40 years, woo, that's a lot of money. And that's what Nike's doing. I'm just setting the record straight, just, letting y'all know, because some of y'all already know this, some of you don't, because I have seen some crazy stuff from some small thinkers. When you see a brand, an international conglomerate like Nike making these kind of moves, you got to be thinking on a large scale. There's some people, like they're cracking me, cutting up their socks, cutting off. They got your money, man. They already got your money. You hurting yourself. I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna get in the chat room. Oh, if you're a member of Hustle Undergrad, do me a favor. Use Glendon at hundergrad.com to email me your questions and stuff, because on YouTube, I'm more than likely to miss it. Facebook, I may miss it. You'll have no clue to how many messages I get. But if you go there, I'm going to see it because I have a separate email for it, and it's for students only. Also, go into your emails and highlight Glendon at hundergrad so my emails don't go into the spam box. All right, so let's get into this questions. Let's get into this chat. Let's see what's going on. Because I'm in a good mood today. I thought this was hilarious. Once again, Nike is throwing millions of dollars at a black person who was controversial, who pretty much gave up his job as quarterback. Oh yeah, that white supremacy just keeping everybody back. All right, let's see what we got going on in here. This is gonna work better because last time I was doing these live streams with this camera, my neck started hurting because I was over here looking at the screen, but now I can look down. What's up, people? Excalibur, Beatology, AKW Beats, Yo, Agent J Pull, JP, Kareem Yee. That's a very interesting name you have there. Beatology. Excalibur, you're right about them playing the long game. Yeah. I mean, Nike makes millions of dollars per day. They make millions of dollars per day. Billions of dollars per month. It's funny, man. Excalibur, BGS did a video recently and highlighted the future demographic. I mean, anyone who is just literally paying attention. Because I'm going to trigger the hoteps and all the woke people, but I go out and actually talk to young people. I'll go up and like, hey, my name's Glendon, I'm an old dude and everything. So what's going on with your life? And you know what? They love to talk about it. And you go out right now and talk to someone who's 20 years old and ask them what they think about race. Well, if a chick's cool, she's cool. They don't see the world that people in my generation do. They don't see it. So at one point, these people will be the majority of the population. I don't think racism or bias or prejudice, whatever it's called, is going to completely be eliminated because that's humans are. But it ain't going to be what it is now. And what we have now ain't what our parents went through. And it ain't definitely what our grandparents went through. What's up, Mo Grizzly? Wayne Johnson, Joe Ray, Sense of Reality. Let me tell you what's coming. I haven't had time to set it up, but for everyone who's a member of Hustle, who's a student, I'm going to probably do 4 to 6 pieces of gear. I'm going to make this one better. I'm actually going to have this stuff lit. It's going to be really nice. It's going to be quality, and it's just I got to take my time and do one thing at a time, because if you notice, right now we're on the holding company, and then once we get to the holding company, all that stuff done, then we go to Salesmatic. I know, Anthony Johnson. That is crazy. Thank you, Property Solutions ATL. There's no white supremacy, just wealth supremacy. LeBron James' family has more power than any coal miner's family. Thank you. It's true. And that's one of the things, because many people conflate white supremacy with wealth, the privilege of wealth. I don't care who you are. I really don't care. If you got money, you're going to be treated differently. I'm going to even say it, they may be racist as all get out, but you got money, they going to kiss your butt. They may go home and complain about it, but they going to kiss your butt. Michael Frank, it's like, because in the market, so everybody that's buying Nike stock right now going to come up. Seasoned investors know this. What's up, James W. Crystal Davis? Dead wish Nike ain't going nowhere. Beatology, donate the Nike to me. Pretty much, Excalibur. Pretty much. Favorite answer. The white tears are flowing, man. It's a great time to buy Nike. Once again, Carl Icahn, Peter Lynch, they look for companies that were kind of damaged because of some, but fundamentally, Nike is very sound. Nike is, once again, they're playing this game where they're going to cut out all the middlemen, because Nike makes all of its money. Nike is, for if you didn't know, it's a marketing company. They're a marketing company, and they license out the shoes and to one group of people, and then wholesalers buy the shoes. And then now Nike is, I think Nike owns all the Nike stores, and they're trying to drive all the traffic to their online portal, because, I mean, if you think about it, if you just had your online portal and you were getting like 8 billion hits a month and you just had a warehouse, that's a serious business model, because you sell your shoes for the same price, but you cut out all the salespeople, you cut out all the wholesalers, the distribution, you make more money. Anthony Johnson, only a fool burns his own stuff to prove no point at all. They just triggered, man. They are triggered. Be real, absolutely right. Nike believes Cap is going to be favored in the future. Nike wants to be on that right side of history. Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali was hate on. People spit on Muhammad Ali. When he's going through a crowd, people used to spit on Muhammad Ali. That ain't how he died. He died like one of the most iconic sports figures ever. And I don't think Colin Kaepernick is going to rise to Muhammad Ali level, but he's going to be in probably a special place of his own, and he's going to be well regulated. And the thing is, because see, Colin, he's a smart dude. He's going to win that lawsuit, and he's going to get paid what he should have been paid if he had been playing. And he got this Nike money. So that's just crazy. Edward Anderson, his story would be a lesson in short game, middle game, long game economics. Absolutely. And that's the message that I want you guys to understand. While everyone is kind of losing their mind and stuff, Look at how Nike has positioned himself. Because one of the things I've realized with American culture, there's about I would say there was like a 30-year generational thing where people remember, but people don't remember like they used to. So essentially, in mere months, most people are going to forget this. In mere months or even maybe weeks, most people are going to forget this. There will be something else. And if you look at, Nike is like Geppetto. And Colin, he is he's Pinocchio on those strings. Understand, they saw a golden opportunity. This was calculated, this was strewed, and they're going to play their hand as hard as they can. There you go, Ben the bartender. I know, Cool Breeze. Definitely a long game. MJ got fined for wearing his Jordans. That reminds me of a story. When we were having our illegal garage sales, we got fined. It was $500, but we were making like $8,000-9,000 a month. Legistry. Once again, I said the first Michael Jordan is a once in a generation, maybe once in a lifetime athlete. Michael Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, Steph Curry, Venus and Serena Williams, Tiger Woods, all the people that Nike got behind were major. They were anomalies. Tiger Woods changed the game of golf. Michael Jordan changed the game of basketball. The Williams sisters changed the game of tennis. Everyone had to level up or they were going to keep getting beat by these people. So Haywood, Spencer, I don't know, probably, he ain't even in the running because I don't even know who he is. So once again, major, these freaks of nature. Cool Breeze, check out the Forbes 100. Most of the billionaires are Asian. Cool Breeze, I know this. I got people up here who are white supremacy. Most of the money, there's white money, and there are men, and blah, 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 blah. You know what gets me about these people? They so busy trying to be right that they ain't even doing right by themselves and their family. They have not started the business. They're not making more money, but they want to sit around and endlessly discuss theory. The reason I say the things that I say is I live this. There was this comment, Bob Johnson, you heard about that. And I just thinking like, how many times have I checked into a hotel wearing my sunglasses? Never had a problem. And I'm going to throw I don't know if this is true. What's up, Edward? Michael Frank, Tiger wasn't guilty and neither was Kobe. See, this is true, but see, the thing is, if analysis using data gathered from all individuals who buy Nike, country boys do not buy a lot of Nike,